the charming town of Hamelin, nestled amidst rolling hills and babbling brooks, there lived a talented musician known as Johann. With his flute in hand and melodies in his heart, Johann enchanted the townsfolk with his mesmerizing tunes. But Hamelin was plagued by a most peculiar problem: rats. The rodents scurried through the streets, gnawing on food stores and spreading disease wherever they went. The townsfolk tried everything to rid themselves of the pests, but to no avail. One fateful day, Johann arrived in Hamelin, his flute singing a sweet melody that danced through the air. Intrigued by the promise of a solution to their rat infestation, the townsfolk gathered around Johann, eager to hear what he had to offer. With a confident smile, Johann declared, "I can rid your town of rats with the power of my music, but my services come at a price." Desperate for relief, the townsfolk eagerly agreed to Johann's terms, promising him a handsome reward in return for his aid. And so, Johann began to play, his flute weaving a spellbinding melody that echoed through the streets of Hamelin. To the amazement of all, the rats emerged from their hiding places, drawn by the enchanting music. Entranced by Johann's melody, they followed him in a mesmerizing procession, leaving the town behind them. Through winding alleys and over cobblestone streets, Johann led the rats away from Hamelin, his flute guiding them to their fate. And as the last rat disappeared from sight, the townsfolk erupted into cheers, grateful to be rid of their unwanted guests at last. But when Johann returned to collect his reward, the townsfolk's gratitude turned to greed. They refused to pay Johann the promised sum, believing that his task had been too easy for such a hefty reward. Heartbroken and betrayed, Johann vowed to teach the townsfolk a lesson they would never forget. With a sorrowful sigh, he raised his flute to his lips once more and began to play. But this time, it was not the rats who emerged from the shadows, but the children of Hamelin. Drawn by the haunting melody, they followed Johann out of the town, their footsteps echoing in the empty streets. And as the last child disappeared from sight, the townsfolk realized the folly of their greed. But it was too late to undo the harm they had caused, for the Pied Piper of Hamelin had exacted his revenge, leaving behind only a haunting melody as a reminder of their folly.